Today we are honored to welcome Ms. Indivari Amuvattu, a distinguished Sri Lankan journalist and media leader, currently serving as Assistant General Manager English News at Adderana 24, one of Sri Lanka's leading news networks. Honored with the 2019 State Award for Best Television Presenter at the State Television Awards of Sri Lanka. Ms. Amuvattu also serves as a board member of International Association of Religion Journalists and has contributed to international platforms including CNN. We warmly welcome Ms. Indivari Amuvattu to the Art of Living International Center. आज हमारे बीच हैं इंदिवरी अमुवत्त। वे श्रीलंका की एक प्रतिष्ठित पत्रकार और मीडिया लीडर हैं जो वर्तमान में अदराना 24 में इंग्लिश न्यूज़ की असिस्टेंट जनरल मैनेजर के पद पर कार्यरत हैं, जो श्रीलंका के प्रमुख न्यूज़ नेटवर्क्स में से एक है। वर्ष 2019 में उन्हें श्रीलंका के स्टेट टेलीविज़न अवार्ड्स में सर्वश्रेष्ठ टेलीविज़न प्रेजेंटर के लिए स्टेट अवार्ड से सम्मानित किया गया। सुश्री अमुवत्त इंटरनेशनल एसोसिएशन ऑफ रिलीजन जर्नलिस्ट की बोर्ड सदस्य भी हैं और CNN जैसे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर भी योगदान दे चुकी हैं। हम इंदिवरी अमुवत्त जी का आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग इंटरनेशनल सेंटर में हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं।
Thank you, Te. Very nice to have you here. Yeah.
Indeed, a pleasure to be back, Gurudev, and I'm blessed to be in the presence of thousands of your devotees today and to be able to speak to you. Ayubowan from Sri Lanka too, and today I'm here because this year marks a very special occasion for the Art of Living Foundation, a foundation conceived by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Gurudev, who has touched the lives of a nearly billion people across continents, cultures, and lives across countries of 180 nations. This year, after 4.5 decades of service and unwavering support to humanity, I'm also here because Gurudev's 70th birthday will be marked this year. Of course, Gurudev will say it's just another day, but before that, I want to wish you a very happy birthday in advance on behalf of all your devotees. Let me ask you, Gurudev, with utmost respect, and I'm humbled to be before your presence. When you began the Art of Living Foundation 4.5 decades ago, did you envision your mission becoming this grand in its nature across continents?
Oh, yeah, I thought of it even before that. Even when I was a child, I had a feeling that, it's something we are going to bring people together in the world and in the spirit of one world family.
As I mentioned, across cultures, continents, and communities, your work has touched millions. What do you believe is that one universal human need that brings people together in need of this spiritual support?
Everyone wants to be happy. They're searching for happiness. And they're not finding it. And here we give them the tools and the way and really take them home to where they really belong. That sense of inner comfort and happiness and connectedness to the universal spirit.
Gurudev, what really keeps you moving now and inspires you to serve after all these years of building a...
Well, Earth is moving constantly and I'm on Earth, so keep moving.
Beautiful. Of course, this conversation to us is very important in the context of today's global situation. And I'm very happy to be away from the newsroom where we see what's happening around the world. Uncertainty and volatility has become the new normal. And we see that you have, as a global ambassador for peace, mediated through conflict zones, promoting conflict resolution through meditation, inner peace, and dialogue. what message do you have, not just to the people, but to the world leaders who are making decisions?
You see, most of this conflict are intertwined with, unfortunately, religion and politics. If it's just politics, it can find resolution. If it's only religious, then religious leaders can get together and we could have found the solution long back. We can always find that. But when they get intertwined, that is where the challenge has become huge. So it is not just nationality and culture or civilization, it's also religion that has crept into the conflict of today. And let's hope, let's keep our fingers crossed, and we all should see in whatever way we can douse the fire, we must continue to do that.
I wanted to
And
ask,
let me congratulate Sri Lanka is playing a very good role, a neutral role of, not taking sides and being in the center. And we need countries who can make the bridges between the conflicting zones. So we don't become part of the conflict, but we always see, we don't lose touch with the people of both sides. And that's the best thing a mediator can do. And I'm glad that East Asia or South Asia can play that role in the world today.
what more work will we see from your initiatives to Gurudev, where our part of the world, especially South Asia, through the collective ancient wisdom that we have, bring our nations together?
We need to communicate more amongst ourselves. What's happening in Thailand and Cambodia, all these things, you don't need an external force to bring peace there. I think we can all do ourselves. And then we must, as I said, we must keep all options open to dialogue. Only through dialogues, conflicts can find resolution.
Individual inner peace, you promote that. Can we look for global, a collective of peace as we cultivate inner peace?
Yeah. See, the basic brick of a society is individual. So if the individuals are not peaceful, you can't expect a societal peace. And if societies and communities are not peaceful, forget about peace in the nation and among the nation. That is where from inner peace to the world peace is what I have always been saying. If leaders are peaceful, they can communicate better, they can perceive better. It's all about perception and expression. When someone is stressed and they have a perception of threat, it is not a real threat. You think, somebody may have this, and then that will be a threat for, what's happening between Ukraine and Russia. It's a threat perception. These comes out of the mind is not secure. And when you are not calm or when you are stressed. So that is where leaders need to have a stress-free mind in order to improve their communication. And only then, any conflict can be resolved.
Gurudev, you've spoken about happiness and a stress-free life for the past 4.5 decades, and I believe we were able to explore that journey last time when I was here. Maybe our world leaders should continue to be at the ashram. But going forward from there, the global epidemic of loneliness, you continue to talk about this, but more than ever, there is 2 generations the new generation who is stuck in that digital depression because of virtual loneliness, and our senior generations who are distanced from the fast-paced life and world. So how do we bridge that gap?
Both need inner peace. They both need meditation. If they meditate few minutes, if they learn the breathing techniques, Kriya, and understand how our emotions are connected with the breath and all that, they can make a huge difference.
Gurudev, you founded a breathing technique that is proven scientifically. And we understand that all your devotees, the billion that we talk about, have really gained something in life as a result.
Oh yeah, there's number of research has gone into this evidence-based research, and they have found it's so beneficial, and that's how people are taking it. So many people in so many countries are taking to it. That itself indicates that its utility in day-to-day life. Yeah. Because there have been research that says that meditation and the Kriya suppresses 300 such genes which are responsible for diseases like Alzheimer and cancer and these things. So it helps people to be healthy, number one, to be strong, and to have clarity in mind, and to be more energetic in whatever they do. All that. Yeah.
And Gurudev, about happiness, another question that many of our societies have is you go after that void that you feel in the desire to fill that void, and eventually, regardless of what you endeavor and attempt and achieve, there's still a void. And this chase continues to keep us on that cycle. You've given us spiritual explanations to this. But how do we understand where to stop?
It's just a matter of awareness. Digital, whether it's in the digital world, parents should be really cautious when they hand over phone to the kids, and not make them get so addicted to it. There is no going back from social media now, but at the same time, we need to be very judicial. We should put it into judicious use.
I've heard you say that you would like, if your devotees or people question you more about the purpose of life. So how do we align our understandings here? We question why we are here.
This question, what is the purpose of my life, itself indicates certain maturity of your intellect. See, this question doesn't come to everybody. They just live their life, eat, sleep, drink, and you are in an auto mode, almost like a machine, right? So, when this question comes, what is the purpose of my life? That takes you to another plane, another dimension. So, that's why I say, don't be in a hurry to find answer, but keep asking this question. Then all those things which are not the purpose of your life will start falling apart. Then you will say, okay, this is not the purpose of my life. My purpose of life is not to be miserable and make others miserable. My purpose of life is not just make money and put it all in the bank and then die one day and make my children fight over that. So you come upon your own, inquiry, spirit inquiry, and find out how life can be a celebration. I'm not telling people, oh, you'll drop everything and become a monk and run away to the caves in Himalayas or somewhere. No, you be in the world and have 200% life, 100% life in the worldly life and 100% life, 100% of your inner potential. There is another big dimension which you are missing out in life. I often tell people, oh, come on, you have one more dimension inside of you, so much wealth. Just by your intention, you can make things work. Why are you not using those tools? You know, we have this Sanyam program here, part 1 and part 2. When people do that, you can see literally the change in their face in just 3 days' time. How they glow and how, some of them are from the closet. They glow and they become so strong and so powerful, their intentions, fructify. So when there is some big conflict, everybody sit and meditates, they put an intention, let there be peace, and then see, it works. It works. And that's why we say there is no dearth of miracles here in life. In Art of Living, we depend on miracles, isn't it? So many miracles happen in people's life. Whatever sometimes you think may be impossible. This is another. Our passion is take on things which usually considered as impossible, make it possible.